Hi, boys and girls, it's Miss Basel. Today we are continuing with lesson 12.3, and we are converting customary units of weight. If you don't have your book, it's fine. You can just write these problems down on paper with me. Most of us that have our book anyways are going to be using paper. You probably want a 4-function calculator. I'm letting you use those to make the math a little quicker, the computation part. You'll need pencil and notebook paper. All right, so our essential question for today is how can you convert units of weight? And we have our conversion table up here where we're dealing with tons, which is equivalent to 2,000 pounds. We're dealing with pounds, which is equivalent to 16,000 ounces. And I went ahead and I multiplied, since there are 2 tons in a pound, 2,000 pounds in a ton, and there are 16 ounces in a pound, I went ahead and got the conversion rate, and I want you to jot this down in your book. The conversion rate is 1 ton is equivalent to 32,000 ounces. All right. Sometimes it's helpful just to go ahead and get that third unit conversion down. All right. I am going to turn on the visual learning video that goes with this, and then we'll talk about some practice problems together.
How can you convert units of weight? Think about this question during the lesson. An adult African elephant might weigh 5 tons. A baby African elephant might weigh 250 pounds. How many pounds does the adult elephant weigh? How could you change 250 pounds to tons? Which is heavier, 250 pounds or 5 tons? 1 ton is equal to 2,000 pounds. 1 ton is heavier than 1 pound. So 5 tons is heavier than 250 pounds. What operation do you use to find the number of pounds? Select your answer.
All right, so we are going from tons to pounds. So we're going larger to smaller. So we're going to use multiplication.
To convert from larger units to smaller units, multiply. What is the product?
All right, so I see 2,000 pounds 5 times. I'm going to go with 10,000 pounds.
The adult elephant weighs 10,000 pounds. Now, convert the weight of the baby elephant from pounds to tons. What operation should you use to find the number of tons? Select your answer.
So I'm thinking here, I'm going from a smaller unit, pounds, to a larger unit, tons. So I'm going to be using division.
To convert from smaller units to larger units, divide. What is the quotient?
All right.
Remember to express fractions in simplest form. The baby elephant weighs about 1/8 of a ton. Now you know how to convert customary units of weight. How many ounces does a 14-pound house cat weigh? Try it yourself.
All right, we're going to leave that and come back to our book. And we've got plenty of examples in the book, so I'm going to leave it there. So make sure that you have gotten your conversion down for tons to ounces. And let's start on our examples on page 499. So go ahead and head your paper. Everybody, whether you have a book or not, should have customary weight lesson 12.3. And our rule, it's the same no matter what we're measuring, whether we're measuring length or capacity or weight. We are going from larger to smaller units. We're going to have to multiply because it takes a lot more of the smaller units to make one large unit. And the opposite is true when we go from smaller units to larger units. It takes a lot less of the larger units to name the same amount as the smaller units, okay? So once we have our rule down, we can go ahead and write down that we're going to be working on page 499. We'll do a couple that I'm going to guide you through, and then I'm going to give you a chance to pause the video and work some out on your own. All right, so I'm looking at number 3, and we are taking 2,000 pounds, and we want to know how many tons does that equal. And actually, this is the unit rate. There are 2,000 pounds in a ton, right? So that is the unit rate right there. That's just a basic fact. All right, basic conversion. All right, let's look at number 4. Number 4, we have 48 ounces, and we want to know how many pounds is that. All right, so ounces are much smaller than pounds, so smaller to larger units. We're going to be dividing, and the unit rate, how many ounces are in a pound? There are 16 ounces in a pound, so we're going to be dividing 48 by 16. All right, again, I'm letting you use this calculator to make things easier. 48 divided by 16, 3. So I have 48 ounces is equivalent to or equal to 3 pounds. Okay. Number 5. We have 6,500 pounds. And we want to know how many tons is this. Okay. Pounds are smaller than tons. So we're moving from smaller to larger units. We're going to be using division. All right. There are 2,000 tons in a pound. Backwards, 2,000 pounds in a ton. So we're dividing by the unit rate, and we're dividing 6,500 by that unit rate. Again, we're going to use that calculator. 6,500 divided by 2,000. We get a decimal number. So we're going to solve this with long division, but our calculator is going to help us. So all we do is we set up 6,500 divided by 2,000. Look at that. We know it goes 3 whole times, right? And 3 times 2,000 is 6,000. So what we have left over is 500, right? And we have 500 out of 2,000. So that is a big mixed number. Guys, I can tell you right now that 500 divides into 2,000. So we're going to simplify that fraction. So we get 3 1/4. 2 500s make 1,000. So 4 times 500 is 2,000. So I get 3 1/4 tons. Another way to name that would be 3 tons, right? And then we would have 500 pounds left over. So we could name it 3 tons, 500 pounds too. All right. Let's go to number 6. That example, we have half a pound, and we want to know how many ounces that is. All right, so we're going from a larger unit to a smaller unit. When that happens, we multiply. There are 16 ounces in a pound, so that's our unit rate. So we're multiplying 1/2 times 16. So guys, we have to have 2 fractions to multiply. Right? So that gives us 16 halves. When we divide that improper fraction, we get 8 ounces. And we can use some number sense here. Since there's 16 ounces in 1 pound, half would be 8. Half of 16 is 8. So half a pound would be 8 ounces. All right. So on number 7 and 8, we're actually doing a comparison. So we have 2 tons, and we want to know if that's less than, greater than, or equal to 45,000 pounds. Okay. So let's go ahead and let's just take the 2 tons and let's see how many pounds that is. So 2 tons, we want to see how many pounds it is. So I know I'm going from larger to smaller, so I'm going to be multiplying. There are 2,000 pounds in 1 ton, so that's my unit rate that I'm multiplying by, and I have 2 tons. So I have 4,000. All right, so I know that 2 tons is equivalent to 4,000 pounds. Well, 4,000 pounds is a lot less than 45,000 pounds. So I'm going to use the less than sign. All right, we have one more comparison. Just want to make sure you guys are able to do that. And if you remember, with the comparison, we just have to convert one side to the other side's unit so that we can compare same units. So we have 4 pounds, and we want to know if that's less than, greater than, or equal to 64 ounces. So I'm just going to take the pounds, and I want to see how many ounces is 4 pounds. All right, so we're going from a larger unit to a smaller. So we're going to be dividing the unit rate. There are 16 ounces in a pound. So we're dividing by 16, and we have 4. Actually, I am so wrong. We're multiplying. I got the wrong symbol down. All right, going from larger to smaller, it takes a lot more smaller. So 4 times 16 is 64. So 64 ounces is equivalent to 4 pounds. So we can see that we have equivalency here. Those two name the same amount. All right, so you have some problems on the bottom of the page. All right, 9 through 17 are the ones that I'm most interested in seeing that you're able to work out. All right, so again, we're going to be labeling whether we're going from larger to smaller unit or smaller to larger, and we're going to be multiplying and dividing that first measurement by the unit rate. Okay, that's exactly what I did. Your work should look like mine. You should not be trying to shortcut things, boys and girls. All right, so you have some good examples. If you want to pause the video, and I'm getting ready to share my work for 9 through 17 if you want to work out any of those and then see how you're doing before you work on your practice buddy. All right, so here we go. Number 9 through 17. So if you just want to pause it and look at the work and see if you came up with the same solution. All right, I'm going to move down and let you look at 15 so you can pause the video if you need to. All right, I'm going to flip over and let you look at the last 2 comparison problems. So if you want to pause the video and look over your work on those problems, okay? All right. Number 17, with the conversion rate that I gave you, where you know that there are 32,000 ounces in a pound, you could have worked it a little differently, all right? But you would have gotten the same equality there. All right, so boys and girls, we have converted customary weight. You should be able to work on your practice buddy if you're doing like you're supposed to do when we're in class and when you're at home. And that means you're pausing the video and you're writing down these practice problems, rewinding if you don't understand so you can catch it again. If you've done that and you feel like you're in a good place, you should do a good job on your practice buddy. All right, have a great day, and I will see you soon.